Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going to journey with you to a small village nestled between mountains and forests. We're exploring a tale called The Magic of the Golden Drum.
Ah,
It's
yes.
not just about magic, but about balance and joy
Right.
and the power of community, and all through the lens of African storytelling.
I think what's so fascinating about this story is how it uses something as simple as a drum to represent these really complex human experiences.
It really does. So you're about to meet Kofi, a drummer, whose life takes an unexpected turn.
Hmm.
His beats are basically like the heart of his village, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The story really emphasizes how music isn't just entertainment there, it's the very fabric of their society, is
Yeah.
how they connect, celebrate, and just exist together.
Okay, so life is pretty good. But then Kofi discovers this incredible golden drum hidden in the forest, half buried under an ancient baobab tree. And you talk about destiny.
Right, and the imagery is so powerful. This drum is shimmering with carvings that hint at some lost royalty. It's clear this is no ordinary instrument.
And Kofi feels this instant connection to it, like it was meant for him. But what happens when he brings this mysterious drum back to the village and plays it for the first time?
Well, the first beat unleashes this wave of pure magic, and it affects everything.
Oh, wow.
Flowers bloom instantly, trees shoot skyward, and the river starts sparkling with life. It's like the whole village is infused with this incredible energy.
Wow, that's intense.
Yeah.
Can you imagine seeing all that happen right before your eyes? It must have been mind-blowing.
Absolutely. But it's not just the environment. The drum compels everyone to dance with this energy they've never experienced before.
So it's not just visual, it's like this visceral force taking over.
Exactly. The old women are moving with the energy of teenagers.
Oh, wow.
Children are dancing in perfect sync, and the whole village is swept up in this wave of pure joy.
Like the drum unlocks something within them,
Mhm.
this shared energy they never knew they had. But wasn't there some pushback?
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone likes change, even if it seems good, right?
That's a great point. The story doesn't delve into any individual resistance, but it does focus on the larger shift in the village's dynamic. Suddenly, this quiet, hidden place becomes renowned for Kofi's golden drum. People are traveling from all over to witness this phenomenon.
So how do you think this sudden fame impacted the village, beyond just the initial wonder? Because they went from this small, tight-knit community to basically having tourists. That's a huge societal shift.
It's massive. Think about it. You go from knowing everyone to having strangers in your midst wanting a piece of this magic. There's a real potential for the village's values and leadership to be tested. Did their sense of community strengthen or fracture under this pressure?
Yeah, that's a great question. And the story does highlight how families that were estranged reunite, old feuds are forgotten, and strangers become friends. So at least initially, it seems like it had this unifying effect. It's like the magic somehow healed those rifts.
Yeah, it's interesting because the drum isn't just about spectacle. It seems to bring about actual healing and connection, at least for a while.
This all sounds amazing, but um, from the outline, we know there's a twist coming,
Hmm.
this incredible joy. Was there a hint that it couldn't last forever? Did the story foreshadow any of the drum's darker side?
Oh, there are definitely some subtle hints sprinkled throughout the story,
Okay.
like how the carvings on the drum depict both joyful celebrations
Right.
and scenes of what seem like ancient battles.
Oh.
It's almost as if it's reminding you that life has its dark sides too.
Okay, so it's not all sunshine and roses.
Right.
When does this darker side of the drum really start to show itself?
Well, during one of the village's celebrations, the drum's rhythm changes.
Oh,
Instead of that joyful, uplifting beat,
yeah.
it becomes something dark and ominous.
Mm.
Imagine you're there dancing, feeling this incredible joy, and then suddenly everything shifts.
Oh, I bet that sent chills down everyone's spines.
Yeah.
So what happens? Does the magic just stop?
No, the ground still shakes, but this time it's not the vibrant pulse of life. It's like a tremor of fear, a warning sign. And this is when Kofi realizes that the golden drum isn't just a source of magic and happiness.
Wait, so this joy,
Yeah.
it wasn't all good.
Right.
What did Kofi realize about the drum?
He understands that the drum's power is a double-edged sword.
Oh.
It can create, but it can also destroy.
Hmm.
And the more the villagers rely on it, the more demanding it becomes.
Oh, wow.
It's like it's feeding off their dependence.
That's a bit creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like at first the magic seems so pure, but now it feels like there's strings attached.
Exactly. And the villagers who were initially drawn to the drum's power to create joy and unity
Yeah.
start using it for personal gain.
Oh,
They
no.
get consumed by their desires.
Huh.
And the drum, it seems to feed off that energy,
Wow.
making those desires grow even stronger.
So it's almost like the drum is manipulating them, right? Like
Mm.
leading them down this path of greed.
It's definitely a possibility. The story doesn't explicitly state that,
Yeah.
but it does highlight how individual desires begin to overshadow the collective good.
Where's a real shift in focus?
Yeah.
Remember all those families who reunited?
Yes.
Well, now they're bickering over who gets to use the drum to increase their harvest or cure their ailments.
It's like that classic tale of getting everything you ever wanted only to find out it wasn't what you truly needed.
Right.
And in this case, it sounds like the villagers lost sight of the real magic they had found in their community and connection.
Hugh hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
It's all about balance, isn't it?
Yeah.
The story reminds us that unchecked desire, even for things that seem good on the surface,
Right?
can lead to destruction.
Hmm.
It makes you think about how easily our own desires can turn into something we didn't intend.
It's a bit scary, honestly.
Yeah.
So what happens next? Does anyone try to stop this downward spiral?
Well, Kofi, now burdened by the truth of the drum,
Okay.
finds himself facing a really tough decision.
Hmm.
Does he keep the drum and risk its destructive power corrupting the village?
Right.
Or does he give it up and lose all that newfound magic?
Yeah. The joy, the prosperity.
Right.
Imagine the weight of that choice on his shoulders,
Yeah.
knowing the potential consequences either way.
It's a classic hero's dilemma.
Right.
What would you do if you were in Kofi's shoes?
Right.
I mean, on the one hand, you have this incredible power that's brought so much good.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, it's clearly becoming a source of darkness.
Yeah.
It's such a tough call. It really makes you think about the responsibility that comes with any kind of power, right? Whether it's a magical drum or even something like social media fame.
Mm-hmm.
How easily we can get swept up in it all and lose sight of what truly matters.
Exactly. It's so easy to fall into that trap of wanting more, especially when we're constantly bombarded with these messages telling us we need the next big thing to be happy.
So what does Kofi decide to do? Does he hold on to the golden drum?
He doesn't. Kofi chooses to return the drum to the forest, to that very spot where he found it, under the ancient baobab tree. It must have been such a bittersweet moment, letting go of something so powerful, knowing the village would lose its magic.
Yeah, you have to wonder what was going through his mind, right?
Mm.
Was he afraid? Relieved?
I imagine it was a mix of emotions. But in that act of giving up the drum, Kofi demonstrates a profound understanding of what truly matters.
Okay.
He recognizes that the real magic isn't in some external object. It's in those everyday moments, the laughter of children, the bonds of community, the simple beauty of nature, things that we can so easily take for granted.
It's like he's saying true happiness comes from within, not from some external source. But what happens to the village when the golden drum is gone? Do they fall back into their old ways?
The village does return to normal, but it's not a complete reset. They've been changed by their experience. They've tasted this extraordinary joy and unity, but they've also seen the dangers of unchecked desire.
So it's like they went on this incredible journey,
Yeah.
both magical and a bit terrifying, and came back with a deeper understanding of themselves and their community.
Precisely. They've learned that true contentment comes from appreciating what they have, not from constantly seeking more. It's a lesson that's so relevant for us today, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, how often do we find ourselves chasing after that next shiny object, thinking that's what'll finally make us happy?
It's so easy to get caught up in that cycle. But Kofi's story reminds us that the most magical moments are often the ones we overlook. The simple things, the connections we have, the beauty that surrounds us.
It's about finding that balance, isn't it, between pursuing our dreams and appreciating the gifts we already have.
Exactly. And recognizing that true fulfillment comes from aligning our actions with our values. Just like Kofi chose the long-term well-being of his community over the allure of the drum's power. This tale really makes you think, doesn't it?
It does. This deep dive into the magic of the golden drum has been quite a journey. It's amazing how this simple story touches upon such universal themes: balance, desire, the true meaning of magic.
And it leaves us with a powerful question. If we think of the golden drum as the allure of instant gratification and endless possibilities in our modern world, what choices are we making that mirror Kofi's? And what can we learn from his journey to find our own sense of balance and true happiness?
That's a great question to ponder. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed it.